Five-time champion now?
35.
35? 35, 45?
You're with the 35-time world champion, Booker T.
So yeah, I told him to see you.
Yeah, right.
This is the Manny Pacquiao Keith Thurman fight week, man. Just tell us about this fight with your boxing knowledge, man. How do you think it's gonna play out?
Well, I've been, watching all the young guys, like, Sean Porter, Josecito Lopez, just these young guys that's been out there that's been fighting for a while, and they betting on Pacquiao. And the one thing that these young guys, fail to realize, I think, just my opinion, is they haven't gotten to be 40 yet. When they get to be 40, they'll know how the 40-year-old legs feel. And I think that's what's going to catch up with Pacquiao more than anything, as well as Keith Thurman. He's undefeated, man. And when you're an undefeated fighter, you don't know how to lose. Keith Thurman is, coming off that injury and that fight with Lopez. People take that fight and look at it and they critique it. But I look at that fight as one of the hardest fights for Keith Thurman coming back and actually having and actually going out there performing at a very high level as well. And one thing don't sleep on in this fight is Keith Thurman legs, man. Yeah. I mean, the guy legs, man, he uses his legs just as much as he uses his hands, and I think that's what's going to win the fight.
But do you think he's going to prove that it's a young man's game at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, I've been in wrestling for a long time, and even trying to go back and wrestle with the young guys, they prove to be better, stronger, faster. And one thing about Pacquiao is, as good as he's been, with fighters like Broner, Broner, he's not going to get in a dogfight. He's a guy that's going to go out there and hopefully luck up and slip on a check left hook or a big right hand and the fight be over with. He's not going to go out there and fight that hard, as well as Manny Pacquiao has gotten some bad decisions along the route as well. So Manny Pacquiao's skills, they've diminished very, very slowly. But I think in this fight with Keith Thurman, I think they're going to catch up with him.
What's that like to have that championship mentality? Like, is there something that separates a champion from someone that's regular?
Well, I think both of these guys got championship mentality. I mean, you don't become 8-time, division champion, by just, going out there and slipping on a banana peel. You put a lot in your craft to go out there and do that, as well as Keith Thurman. He's a guy that's come up, he's undefeated. He's gone out there and fought the toughest guys to get to where he is right now. Danny Garcia, he's no walkover. Sean Porter talking about he could beat both of these guys. He's already gotten beat, by Keith Thurman. So my thing is, this guy is the future of boxing of today. If Manny Pacquiao would have caught him 10 years ago, might have been a different story.
You sound like you watch a lot of boxing.
You got the technical stuff. I see you at the Charlo fight. What you think about Charlo's performance?
Charlo, I mean, it was a lackluster performance, man. You know what I mean? But the guy who was fighting, he didn't come to lose. He came to win. And one thing about fights, man, you know what I mean? Joshua proved it, man. I mean, any given Sunday or Saturday, a guy can go out there and become champion. And I love boxing. I've been studying the game since I was a kid. I'm a huge fan of the game. And now, work for ESPN. My dream is coming true, being able to come out here and cover the fight like you. I'm a journalist like you guys.
Is that weird?
Yeah. No, it's cool. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And now, being out here fight week, get the chance to promote, the big fight. It's awesome. It's really
maybe
awesome.
You can relate to Pacquiao. You were pointing out the legs once you're 40. You competed for a long time. You had longevity. You were world champion at an older age. How does a 40-year-old's body look when you're competing with the younger elite fighters? How does it feel? How does it function? Do you feel slower?
I mean, one thing about getting older, you do get smarter. The knowledge, you're able to go out there and do things that you couldn't before, just from a different perspective, just because you've been in just about every situation. Take George Foreman, Michael Moore, coming back at an old age. Take Bernard Hopkins going out there beating guys at her old age. Take Floyd Mayweather at an older age. If the elite fighters can actually pull it off for so long, and I think Manny Pacquiao, he's pulled it off, for a very, very long time. But I think, this is such a huge difference in age, as well as I think the odds right now are shifted towards Pacquiao, but I really think it's some money out there to be made, because I think Keith Thurman's going to win this fight. He's probably going to win it by decision, but I really believe if the way Manny Pacquiao fights, he can run into something, and this fight could be over with quick.
Yeah.
Do you think people understand the fact that you know that Keith is unified champion and has a hell of a resume?
Yeah,
You think
well,
people sleeping on that?
I think people thinking about the injury. I think people are thinking about the Josecito Lopez fight. I think that's what they're judging this fight. A lot of this fight. I think if Keith Thurman would have never got hurt and continued to just dominate guys just like he did all the way up to this point, I don't think we'd be having this conversation. You know, but you know what? Me personally, I'm loving we're having this conversation because it's going to be a great fight, and I'm just happy to be here.
What about the activity? Like you just said, usually the 40-year-old's the one that's inactive. Manny's been an active fighter.
Yeah,
Keith.
Manny has been active, and one thing about fighters, you know, a time off is an athlete's worst enemy. Manny fighting as much, you know, as he has been over the last few years, that's going to help him a whole lot going into a fight like this with that guy with those young legs, because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to, the legs, the stamina. And you know, I was talking to Evander Holyfield Jr. Just last week. He called into my show, and I say, Manny Pacquiao, if you look at it from the outside, his legs are still the same size. You know, he goes out there and he still throws punches, and it looks almost exactly the same. But just think about a 20-year-old car. You know what I mean? It looks good on the outside. The rims are shiny, but under the hood, it's still 20 years old. So that's the way I look at the game. Yeah.